Hey, nachokifala na bonga kwa kitchen bro na koroga. Club niggas be adi so focused. Over club or like siko so. Bro it's disorder and it's on the phone. Check your location. Tell my niggas they chasing the places. Hey, bro not gonna cook up. Me telling your hoes when it's done. I know you be talking too much. Just look at the buzz. I'm one of a kind. I swear I'm one of a kind. I'm one of a kind. Bitch, I'm one of a kind.
Double S came through with his boy, he one of a kind. I'm killing his songs like all of the time. I'm sending his shots in all of my rhyme. Yeah, that's my gun, it's one of my nine. At a bitch would, he starting this whole day talking about crypto. So I'm like, do you flip though? Cause it's giving you a scam, I got a thing for a freak too. I said, fuck it, I'm a freak too. Got hoes in the ends, got paid last week too. Shit, I tell you what I've been through. I've been around you bitches black, yeah, bitches ain't shit too. Yeah, bitches is mad, double S, and addicted to the smoke, this smoke, so the red say,
yo. Officially, Silverstone Bars is one of the most underrated rappers in the game. I mean, have you heard this? Like, she went hard. What? And I have to admit, I have been part of the crew that has been underrating Silverstone Bars. But she just turned me around. Not like that. Not like that. Not like that.
Came through with his boy, he one of a kind. I'm killing his songs like all of the time. I'm sending his shots in all of my rhyme. Yeah, that's my gun, it's one of my nine. At a bitch would, he starting this whole day talking about crypto. So I'm like, do you flip though? Cause it's giving you a scam, I got a thing for a freak too. I said, fuck it, I'm a freak too. Got hoes in the ends, got paid last week too. Shit, I tell you what I've been through. I've been around you bitches black, yeah, bitches ain't shit too. Yeah, bitches is mad, double S. I'm addicted to the smoke, it's smoke, to the red say, aim it to your dome, I aim it to your chest. Put that shit on the box to the left, in my closet, that's my stuff, yes, if I bought it, please don't touch. In the closet, that's my stuff, yes, if I bought it, please don't touch.
And she can touch me. But anyway, on a serious note, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tubonge. Apparently those were two different people. Welcome to Tubonge, where people are very serious today, aka Shmani, never cracking a smile. Why are you Africa in this case? But anyway, welcome to Tubonge, hosted by yours truly on the Black Hole Fire Network, the media of the 21st century. You can stream us live on YouTube. We are on TikTok as well, where we see Jerry Katie out here. Nyash is in the building. Look, if Nyash is not in the building, I'm not there. Okay.
You just want Nyash.
I am Nyash only. Okay.
Shout out to Nyash.
And everybody else, JJ is in the building as well, and my phone is also here. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be talking about. I had forgotten it was here. You know, we'll be talking about the Russia situation in Africa, and with the most beautiful panel and the silver tooth in the building, we shall set loose, you know, with Miss Red in the building.
Yes, we're going. How are you? How are you guys?
We're fine.
Mmetulia. You guys are so chill sana. I don't know what's up, but anyway,
Sisi kama African.
You're not here to...
We are Africa in this case, so we're just humble.
You're trying to make people feel this is a safe space, for real.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Containing the energy. But anyway, karibuni sana. Family, hope you guys are doing amazing. Welcome to the Tubonge show. My name is Jovi. To our first time listeners, back-to-back streamers and subscribers, I hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon, rather evening, morning, and welcome to today's episode of Tubonge. My name is Joby once again.
Welcome to Tubonge, this is the Black Hot Fire Network.
In
case you are wondering why I'm not smiling, it's because there's nothing to smile about.
Nothing funny.
You're a sadist, man.
So in case you are wondering, you know, some people say the world is flat, others say the world is round. I say the world is fucked up.
Wow.
What?
This is Tubonge.
Tubonge.
What's your name?
This is the movie. You're making me smile and I want to
Demoro Joe Mosquito said you don't know about sports.
Wait,
Anything about sports.
come
Topic for
on.
another day.
Topic for another day. You were
I just wanted to tell
Shout
you.
out to General
No,
Mosquito.
I defend Debora for a minute. What does General Mosquito knows? Because he keeps on telling us about fashion. He keeps on talking about now it's sports. He keeps on telling me that Arsenal is a
Nah, general taking advice on sports from General Mosquito is like not good.
Joe Mosquito, hope you heard.
That's the driest joke since
No,
the
I wanted
Sahara.
to say something, then I realized, nah.
It's not fitting.
Okay, my name is Katie. You can talk to us via our media handles. We are live and interactive on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on TikTok at Black Hot Fire Network. You can also download our media app or our radio app at on Google Play Store at Black Hot Fire Network. Get to interact with us and join into the conversation.
Yes, Karibuni family, my name is SH with the money. Welcome to Tubonge and enjoy this amazing conversation.
Yeah, we are talking about Demoy. What do you have to say?
And before we start, I have a brain teaser for y'all.
Okay.
And I have a question for all of you and for all the listeners, and I want to know what you think about it.
Okay.
So if I were to give you $1 million,
Okay.
or I know you've heard of this,
Okay.
or $1 that doubles every day, what would you take?
$1 that doubles every day.
Joe, Kate,
A dollar that doubles every day.
all right,
Yeah.
$1. It's just $1. $1 that doubles every day for
But
30
I
days.
might take
It's for
that.
30 days only. So you
Of
might
course,
you
$1
might
million
you might need to reconsider
For
your
me, it's
offer.
$1 million.
It doubles every day for 30 days only.
It's hatred with the SH with the
Still.
money. Yeah?
Job, $1 million cash or $1 that
Look.
doubles every day for 30 days.
$1
$1 that
nah.
doubles every day
Every
for
day.
30 days.
Yeah, so you need to know that in 2 days it will be $2, in 3 days it will be $4, nothing much.
It's okay.
Yeah, so in 30 days it's gonna be $60.
No. So let me show you.
So
Let me,
Katie has
It's
to
a-
answer.
it's a mathematical thing.
I answered though.
You say,
$1 that doubles every day.
alright.
Okay.
So give
What
us
would
the
you
answer. What's the answer?
Let our listeners tell us, everybody on TikTok,
We are going to answer at the end of the show.
if you had these two options, $1 million right now, cash, money, cold, okay, crisp, then you can show up on a music video and throw around real money. Know what I mean? As in SH with the money. That's she chose $1 million right away.
I'm still choosing $1 million.
Straight away.
Yeah, I'm still. If it is for 30 days, I'm choosing $1 million.
It's only 30 days.
Okay. So you can tell us, what would you choose if you had the choice? Kevin, we see you out there. What will you choose? $1 million right now or $1 that doubles every day? And you can
For
do the
30
math and tell us what you think makes more money. Right? But anyway, we are talking about the African-Russia conundrum that we find ourselves in. Is Russia a friend or a foe? Is it in disguise, just waiting to pounce? Is Russia free of the influences that we are trying to get away from? Or is it a new master in a new cloth? Joby, what do you think?
I'll answer a question with a question first before I
Look,
answer.
we had this
Not for you to
discussion before.
answer, not for you to answer, but is Russia a friend to Africa is a question I think we've been having here as a Black Hot Fire
Yep.
for quite some time. Still no answer to that. Nobody has concluded. But to me, I doubt it. I really doubt it because we are fighting with enemies
Okay.
of the same race.
Okay.
So what makes you think you walking away from this other party, this one is the better ally? Because that's what they try to tell us. This
From
one
the-
is a better
from the
ally
pan
than this one.
to the fire.
Yeah, I know, that's right. You know?
Okay, Demore, what do you think?
I'll also answer you with a question.
Okay, questionnaires.
Is a shepherd who protects his sheep from the wolves and fattens it a friend to the ship or an enemy to the ship.
Oh man, that's such an interesting question. Okay, Katie, what do you think?
I think one, we would
Hey, it's okay.
Anyway, I think at this time, I think we are at a point of Africa is at a point of thinking sini wajanja, and by the fact that najua sini wajanja, we are thinking that right now we're using Russia because it's trying to prove to us that it's not connected to the other powers like now the US and so I think we think we are somehow close to getting the freedom we really want, but at the same point I feel like Russia is taking advantage because there's no way you'd believe that the same people who beat you up and they are the same people who are coming to rescue you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Ishmani, what do you
For
think?
me, I feel it's both from the perspective of who is asking. To
Okay.
like,
So if an African is asking,
yeah, like for example, what I'm trying to say is, I can say Russia is actually helping if I want it to help to my advantage. At that point. And of course, I can also say we can't be friends with them. So it depends with the situation. Yeah.
okay. Because if we look at it, in Niger, when the coup was happening, they were bringing down French flags and flying Russian flags.
Yeah.
The Russia military group, what is it? What is it called? Wagner. I like that you all know what that is. We are getting somewhere now. The Wagner group, the Wagner group has been responsible for a whole lot of unrest and protective services on this continent. The normal civilian might not know it, but they are the anti-UN. If you don't want the UN, you get the Wagner group, right? Does the Wagner group activity in Africa stabilize or destabilize our freedom?
Of course, it's destabilizing. Yeah.
But isn't an
But
enemy
now
fighting an
they
enemy
are
a
acting,
friend?
they are acting like they are destabilizing like they are now destabilizing the US, the French and the rest in the country, and then they are like stabilizing on our side. But it's actually the vice versa. But we wouldn't get this. I don't know why, but I feel like it's not that we don't get. Sometimes we just want to believe that this is lesser evil. Yeah.
And as far as I know, I think Dumore has some views and comments on the disappearance of the Wagner group leader. What do you have to say about that?
One thing you have to know about the Wagners is that they are hired guns.
Okay.
They answer to the highest bidder.
Okay. Okay.
If you hire them today and you beat them and you tell them to destroy Somalia, they're gonna do that.
But do you really think that the Wagner group is a private assassination group?
It was actually a proxy by the Russian government. The Russian government wanted to do things and not be answerable for them. And therefore, when, for example, the Wagner was involved in the war in Sudan, in Central African Republic, and now you can't go to the UN and say that Russia was involved in
No,
Sudan. Listen, Kate.
We were actually involved.
So you can't go and say,
I'm surprised.
yeah, so you can't go and say Russia was involved in Sudan. They are gonna tell you, no, it wasn't us. It was the Wagners, and the Wagners are a private entity. So
And this is why they give it a title of private entity. But now it's you cannot go and hire you like a private person. You have to go through the government.
So the reason they
governmental.
say it's a private entity is
To
to
guard their
escape
reputation.
answerability, and
Yeah.
also the other reason that made it look more private was when they tried to overthrow Putin. That I always feel like that was a Trojan horse or something to distance themselves from
the Kremlin.
the Kremlin, And there was a time when when Russia attacked Ukraine, the Wagners were hired to go and help the Russians, and the Kremlin delayed to send weapons there, and so many of the Wagner soldiers were killed, and then that was when Prigozhin attacked Putin and said that Putin was a coward. He actually said he was a coward who didn't want to negotiate with Russia. So I don't know much about the Prigozhin and the Wagners, but I think they were being used by the Russian government as proxies to fight their wars.
For real, but now why would they get into war? Because now, this is so complicated.
It isn't really.
No, it is actually because
Kenya wants to attack Uganda, but it doesn't want to attack it directly.
So it hires the
no,
candidate.
my question is actually how did Ukraine become so powerful than Russia?
Because it's getting a lot of money from the US.
Hey,
It's fun.
I really want to.
He said some propaganda.
Yeah, that was not true.
That was not true.
Ukraine
At
is
no
powerful than
point.
Russia.
At
No,
no
Russia is
point.
powerful.
At no point
But-
in human history has Ukraine
You
ever
know,
been
the
more
reason
powerful
I'm saying
than
this,
Russia.
the reason I'm saying this, how would they think of becoming now trying to attack their motherland? Because it's like
attacked.
Not them.
They were attacked.
They were being used again as a proxy by NATO to cause friction. Even
so
now, the people that are anti talks with Russia from the Ukrainian side are being advised by NATO, because the US keeps on supplying arms, not food. Okay, arms. Fight it out. So is Germany.
your people will sell out.
So is
If
Britain.
you want to know how true what Kamlesh is saying is, there's a US journalist, I don't remember his name, but he works independently, not for a media house. So he had acquired an interview with Putin, but he was warned. He was told, don't you try and do an interview with Putin by the US government. I don't remember the name, but if anyone is watching from the US, I am sure they know the name of this journalist. And
Yep.
he can't have that interview.
I think the one who was fired from
He's
Lulo.
independent right now. I don't know.
Yeah, but he was fired from CNN, yeah?
Yeah. So
I
they don't
think
want
I know him.
they don't want Putin speaking because he's going to cook.
Yeah. And the guy also does take raw interview, like, he's very raw.
No, because the truth,
It's
most
always raw.
most people.
She's out of line, but she's
No,
like,
I said the truth is always raw.
Okay.
Joby had concluded that sentence with a raw.
another raw news.
And another no raw news. Let us not talk about the raw affairs. We might get sued by the WWE.
Getting roady.
It's good. And now we can fit in a certain category on a certain website. The raw show. But anyway, as we talk about the conflicts that the Wagner group is involved in, as we talk about the Russian position across Africa, we have to understand, and this is something I wanted to pose to you all, starting with Shmani.
Yeah.
Do you think Russia is free of the entities that control the West?
Russia is free of the entity that controls the West.
Yes.
I
Is
do
Russia
believe-
free of the cats with the small hats?
I do believe it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Of course, if we talk about it having definitely involvement
Mhm.
with the West, I think that is what you're asking.
Mhm.
Or
No,
or
not the
in
US.
layman's
Look.
language.
In layman's language,
Yeah.
is Russia its own man?
Russia,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Okay. Katie?
No,
It's a new age.
no.
Mhm.
We're not even sure about the independence of this country, so we're not sure about it.
Mhm.
But I tend to think no, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't worry.
Do you watch Jordan Peterson Kamlesh?
Yes.
When he's asked a question that he doesn't know the answer, the way he goes around. So I'll try do a Jordan Peterson. So in this context, you have to ask what a man is and what a man means. What is a man in this context? Anyways, I think
What do you think about this? Is Russia its own man? What are your thoughts? First of all, what is a man?
yeah, you have to ask yourself what is a man, you know. And a man might be a social construct, and it depends on how you're brought up, and that's Jordan Peterson. So is Russia its own man?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think Russia is, you know, in every family there's always that one son
Who is prodigal?
who's prodigal, who thinks they can outthrow the father,
Yeah.
Okay.
but they are still under the father, you know,
Yeah.
because they can't be their own man
Mm-hmm.
while they're living in a world that is controlled by you know who. So, and they control the financial systems and
Is it
everything.
Voldemort? Do you know who?
He whose name must not be mentioned. Yes, no, they can't be free unless they have their own fiscal systems, unless they have their own fiscal systems that are separate from the West.
But they do.
Do they really have their own
Themselves.
fiscal system?
Listen. So lately, okay, since the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, something that happened is they were shut down from this, whatever we used for the global banking system, this Visa, whatever, the I can't remember, but they can't basically use all those services in Russia.
This is
Even banks left, even McDonald's. Listen, if fast food restaurants are leaving you,
this is what I think.
but what they did is they took in the Chinese one. Okay, and this is why I ask this, because if you understand about the resurgence of Russia, China is deeply in bed.
Involved, exactly.
And this is what I think, Hamlet. You know, have you ever seen those puppets that the strings are pulled like this and they start doing dancing and doing? Yeah. So I think Russia, US, China, Africa, they're just like those dolls in strings. And there's someone who's pulling them. And everything is strategic, from the wars, setting them against each other, you know, because you can't tell me the beef between NATO and Russia is not real. It looks real.
It is real,
It looks real to me. But I think there's someone pulling the strings, you know,
of course.
This-
Why now? Why not 10 years ago?
because
Why not 20 years from now?
because of something called the New World Order.
It must happen now.
I think it's time, it's
Who's
right.
funding the Wagner?
The Wagner Group
Yeah, it's
is actually privately paid by entities that contract it. Even the Russian government
Eight.
pay the Wagner Group. Meaning, you cannot take Russia to court and tell it, look, basically, the Wagner Group is the CIA.
You can pay the Wagner to
It's an
overthrow a
assassin
government.
group. Me, I think it's actually owned by Russia. It's just that they just want now to make sure that it looks like a private group, so that they escape even the reputation part, because they really want to keep their reputation clean. But
But
it's
you have
owned.
the big question will be, and I'm not insinuating anything. Then, if it is owned by Russia, then why did Russia kill the Wagner chiefs? Five of
Maybe
them.
they went against what they really wanted. Yeah. Like, you know, Prigozhin's death is mysterious, because I understand before you leave where you are, the plane has to be checked. And by the fact that it clashed in, where was this?
It was in
I'm
I'm forgetting the name, but it crashed.
also forgetting.
Uh-huh.
So it's not even far from home. I think because Prigozhin was not even coming out.
But it was brought down by a missile.
Yeah, it was attacked. This is what I mean. It was attacked.
And Kid was telling me that he thinks, he suspects that maybe the Prigozhin is not dead. He said he's gonna believe Prigozhin is
Yeah,
dead and
because
deceased
we
and
even
he-
never saw
So
his body.
exactly.
Yeah, I also tend to believe the same because it might be attack, but also they really wanted to like look like it's an attack, and then suspect somebody or say it was this person. Or maybe we end up suspecting there's a war between the Wagner and the Ukrainian government, the Russian government.
But let me ask you this. Isn't it
Actually, that's
suspicious?
it.
Yeah.
Isn't it suspicious when you think about how the Prigozhin guy just got away with it? The way Putin was so relaxed about it.
But
Do you know, this is Putin.
Putin actually said in a speech after they tried to
Powerful.
take over, he said the people who betrayed Russia will pay for it. He said that.
Yes, but that is not the Putin
That we know.
that we know as the world. And he's a radioactive in your cup of tea, Putin.
But
Okay.
now you might also want to think like this. Maybe Wagner has a huge or plays a big role
Of
in the
course it
government
does.
because it might, maybe he saw this as something that was never going to happen, but now it
So-
happened. So he was also afraid of
So, just quick facts.
Mhm.
Some of the biggest victories by Russia in Ukraine were gotten by the Wagner Group.
Exactly. So
Okay.
it's-
Some of the most compelling, most successful endeavors that Russia in Afghanistan, in Iraq, the Wagner Group was the one that turned the tide for the Russians.
And the smoke screen actually, anybody who can open their eyes can tell that the Wagner was Russia's project because the Wagners were recruiting inmates
Inmates. There's
in
video.
exchange for freedom.
Yes. Look, come fight for us and we take you out of this.
I
These
mean,
are
how
gulags.
powerful can a private mercenary be to be able to free inmates?
Look, they are outmates now.
they are assassins.
They are Wagner. And that is something that has to be called into question. Because this is the same group that is active in Africa. So are you saying we have criminals acting as militants on the African continent?
I think this is just not even a militant, not even a military group. It's an assassin group. I mean, these people are just hired to do the bad. They'll never do the good. The good is just stealing and bringing it to their boss. But now they are hired to go and kill this person, go and do this, go and bomb this place. They are just assassins. They are just involved in deaths. Yeah, that's their work.
But if we turn the tide kidogo and we look at Russia's position in Africa differently, Russia is actually following a very different approach to Africa. It is using its resources positively. Because if we look at the US, for instance, the US, it's always policies that never get enforced. It's we shall help you, we help which never comes. It's just aid. Okay? And the fact that it's in bed with China. So China brings the roads. Do you understand?
That's incest.
I know.
The fact that they're in bed together means that China lays the groundwork and Russia makes us comfortable.
True. That's true.
Do you understand? Because China is giving Africa loans
Yep.
by the bucket. And then Russia, being the third largest world producer of potatoes, one of the largest producers of maize, wheat, and barley. It says it is the world's largest producer of sugar beet, 42 million tons, which serves to produce sugar and ethanol. It is the third largest producer of potatoes, the second only to China and India. This country is competing in agriculture with 1 billion people each. You know what that means? So what it's doing is, it's actually giving Africans food. You hungry? Take the food. Take the food. And when you have good roads and cheap food, I bet you're going to do something.
Yep.
I bet you're going to succeed. So does that make Russia a friend, really? Or is it making us dependent on needs?
Dependent.
Okay?
Because, I mean, how much percentage of Africa arable land do we have, Kamlesh?
Oof. That's a whole conversation by itself.
That gives you just a clear answer.
Yes.
Why we should not continue depending on food from them or even anything they offer. That's on period.
Okay.
And actually, I saw that Putin,
Putin?
offered. Russia.
Putin.
No, Russia. Putin.
Putin.
Ah, okay, Putin.
Look, this man has radioactive material.
He'll come
Do
for
not disrespect his name.
Yeah.
We might take the wrong tea tonight.
He actually offered grains
Yeah?
to Africans.
Was it Putin?
It was
Yeah,
No,
Russia.
Putin.
It was Russia.
Putin.
No, it was
It was
Ukraine.
No, it's Russia.
Ukraine.
It was Ukraine.
For real.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ukraine is
Yeah.
actually also one of the largest producers of
Wheat.
corn and wheat. Yes, wheat actually.
And
Yeah.
I actually think our president is avoiding Russia by all means. I don't know if you've noticed this,
Yes.
And for example, he has been in the US for the last 12 days and never managed to even meet the president, He was meeting equivalents of
MCAs.
Saudi.
MCAs.
Yeah. And
Congressmen.
there isn't a place that he hasn't gone that there was a conference. He actually looks for even church conferences, and he goes. But he didn't find. This guy will go for a crusade
Hey.
in Ghana.
Church conference in Ghana.
But he never found time to go for the BRICS conference in South Africa.
Do you know that was
And
alarming?
that
to
was
me?
that was the reason he gave. He didn't find time. And look at him collaborating with, and I saw a Ugandan complain of this. Uganda is having an excess of wheat right now.
Excess.
Excess.
Wow.
And what did Ruto do? Ignore Uganda's wheat, get Ukraine.
Ukraine.
I mean,
Damn.
he's quoting Ukraine in a way. He's quoting the West and the friends of the West.
How you caught in a war-torn country?
Apparently, Russia, I told you yesterday, yeah, they offered grains.
True?
Yesterday.
Africa
It was
today.
yesterday.
On
Yesterday.
Thursday, 27th. It's today.
Okay.
How much
Yeah.
wheat are we getting? How much wheat are we
breaking
getting?
news.
Yeah.
So we
Breaking
didn't know
news.
How
that.
much wheat are we
Literally,
the one that I
grains.
know about the Russians.
That
is the
fertilizers. I know
news.
about the fertilizers.
Grains on
Thursday,
what?
Shmani.
Grains for
Yeah,
what?
27th July. It's today.
What
No,
grains?
July. 27th July. July. July.
Russian.
I knew about the fertilizers.
Breaking
I'm keen on the
news.
I
dates.
know. It's July. It's
Look,
not
look.
today.
I'm always keen on the dates of
Look.
Not
articles, trust
today.
me.
It's July.
Breaking news
Stories at Java.
from July
Uh-huh.
by the news
Because we know
captain.
currently it's
Apparently,
Ukraine.
it's July.
It's
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, everybody is caught in Africa.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
But why is Ruto avoiding Russia?
look,
And Museveni is going to Russia.
look, I'm saying this. The puppet master that puts you there is the one you sing. You sing the song of the piper that plays you.
He who pays the piper calls the tune.
That's what I was looking for. You get what I mean? And we definitely know who paid the piper. We can see it. The tune is being called and he's dancing to it.
How would that affect global politics? Not global, regional politics in East Africa, because Museveni is quoting Russia. They're actually making a nuclear plant with Russia in Uganda. And Ruto is avoiding Russia.
So
and
as we
quoting
move to
Ukraine.
Uganda with cheap power.
Do better, Kamlesh.
So,
Do better.
no.
The place is better than Nigeria.
No, that's right. That's right. You said that correct.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
don't you think it's gonna bring some division in East Africa?
But isn't that the point? And that's why I keep
Exactly.
asking this. Are we being played the same way we got played for the division of Africa to occur previously? Okay, because back then we had the Francophones and the Anglo-Saxons.
Sure.
Okay? And they carved us up beautifully in Germany. You know how sad that is? The English and the French went to Germany to carve up Africa and deny Germany portions of Africa in Germany. Okay? Like, you're in my country, but you only give me. What country was it? Cochini? It's a desert. Yeah, where the Germans live. It's a whole desert. Like their tourism thing is this. Okay, come, rent, aviate, and travel the desert. It is self-contained. There's a
Enjoy
tent.
the sun.
Enjoy stars. It's a desert. If anybody can tell me.
Some girls.
Yeah, it's just god damn. There is no wildlife. Nothing. No big fight. But yeah, that's what the Germans got. So are we witnessing a new carving up of Africa where China is now on the table, Russia is on the table,
The West.
and the West is being kicked out of the table?
But they won't be. They don't want to go out though. They won't go out without
I
a
think
war,
that's
though.
why they have China on the bricks.
Okay?
Yeah.
Actually, that's a question Jiba Jaba, I see him in the building, asked me on my show today.
Mm-hmm.
He asked, do I think if China is...
I had forgotten we had comments.
We have comments, we have
My-
people on the chat, yeah.
Yeah.
He asked if I think China, if they are actually creeping in to Africa to pave a way for the West. And personally, I said yes.
Yeah, I think
Because
so
that's
too.
what they are doing. And again, China and Russia also, you know, they're in the same bed, like you just call them, you know. So we have literally, these are chain connected, personally, what I see. And that's again a question I asked you yesterday. Is Russia really an independent country?
Entity.
whatever.
Let's call it an entity for now.
My advice to the Kenyan president would be, and I know you talked to him,
We see you seeking this PA position, okay?
I know you speak to him a lot, so pass this message to him.
Okay.
It would be, and to all African presidents would be, to adapt a law of power that says, show loyalty to no one, you know? Just don't be loyal to nobody.
Basically, that's like whole language 101.
No, don't, you know? What I mean is, stop inheriting enemies
Of your enemy.
of your enemy, and don't show loyalty to no one. Don't be loyal to the West, don't be loyal to Russia,
China.
To the
don't be
East.
loyal to China. Anybody who wants to trade with you, let them come,
Pull
sit
up.
across the table, put their offer on the table.
Period.
If I want it, I'll take it.
Value
You
for
know,
value.
this whole issue of if I'm relating with the West, so I can't relate with Russia is bullshit.
Sure.
Just don't be loyal to nobody.
Mhm.
Be your own independent entity. And
You know, do you know what basically that line of thought does? It gives Africa a seat at the table.
Sure.
If they actually adopted that, they'd be like, okay, so who are you again? And
But-
what do you stand for? I stand for me. You and you been fighting for like the last 200 years. I don't care. Who paying me more?
Because definitely they need Africa. And that's why they're looking for allies.
Look,
Literally.
without Africa, the world doesn't function.
And we've been actually, you know, I was this week on Twitter, on X, formerly Twitter. Kenya has been getting attacked so much, you know, because of Ruto, and they actually went from Ruto to Kenyans, and they're saying Kenyans have always been traitors to Africa.
In
And
a
they
sense,
say-
in a sense,
they
I
say- for
understand
an
it.
example is when I don't know, this South African president was jailed for 27 years.
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson
Mandela wanted a passport from Kenya during apartheid, and he wasn't given. Kenya refused to give it to him. And someone was asking, why is Kenya sending police to Haiti, sorry. Why is Kenya
Huh?
sending police to Haiti? It's sending police to Haiti to fight gangs, you know.
Yeah.
It is. And someone answered, it's not the first time. Kenya has been sending people
Even to Sri Lanka.
to Sri Lanka, to I don't know where, you know. So it's I didn't know that Kenya has been traitorous to Africa. I learned that this week.
Look,
I don't know if it's propaganda. It's unverified information.
It's not
So don't-
propaganda. It's actually
don't
true.
put that on me.
Because I've seen our president, the current president, he sent troops to Sri Lanka, and right now he's sending to Haiti, and he actually signed a deal with the West to send his troops to Haiti. So I was even telling myself, yesterday I listened to that goofy man, friend of yours,
Who?
Kibe.
look.
Kibe was
Best
saying,
slander is not allowed on Tubonge.
no, let me tell you what
We
Kibe
shall not
said.
allow Kibe slander here. Kibe is a
Slander Kibe
is a god among men.
Slander
What
Kibe.
So what Kibe said yesterday is that he was arguing that ati our preso is so like mjanja.
Aje.
Ati he sees there is no employment in Kenya. He takes people from Kenya and go and make them watchmen in Haiti.
Look, that is called sarcasm.
Yeah.
Okay. Understand the language of men.
No,
He was being
Ah.
sarcastic.
he was not. Anyway,
Oh.
back to my
So
point.
at first the attack was on Ruto and then it changed to Kenya. And the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
Africa was attacking Kenya saying we are traitors.
Of course, if one of
Can you
you
get some
Do
of
we
those
run,
tweets?
do we
Yeah,
run when
I'm
you're
looking for
attacking
them.
Kenyans? Do we
Once-
run Kenya?
one spoiled
Do we run Kenya?
potatoes spoil the rest. So that's how they're gonna take us as traitors at the end of the day. But remember, it's like we also saw there was this time Ruto went to each country. I don't know, it is in the East Africa, and he was even in Sudan. No, why are we even going far? Even in Sudan, he was a traitor. What did he do? He was an ally of the Rapid Support Forces. Imagine,
I
he's
actually knew-
supporting the people who are invading the
I
country.
So
actually saw
basically,
the
he
red,
was supporting Wagner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually saw a red flag on the
Uhuru
first day of
was
power.
yeah,
First day of power.
Uhuru was also
Okay.
a traitor, but at the end of the day, you know, Uhuru was ahead of AU, which he still is. I bet.
We went for pistols.
I
Yeah.
knew Ruto was I saw a red flag on his first day in power, you know.
What
There are
did
so
he
many
do?
presidents who came over to his swearing in. And he wrote a tweet. I don't know if you guys can remember. And he said, Kenya recognizes Sahrawi as an independent state. The tweet was deleted in like 5 minutes.
What?
Yeah. On his first day in office. How did you guys not see this? So I think a phone call was made from Morocco or something, and he was asked, "What do you mean Sahrawi is an independent country?" You know, and he deleted the tweet, and it brought a lot of controversy, and that's why we don't relate well with Sahrawi, a country that is trying to fight slavery in Morocco. So we are not the best country in Africa, that's
Okay.
for sure.
But does that reflect on Kenyans or our leaders?
That's why I'm even asking if they come and blame Kenyans. Do we run things? Do we send these people? There is somebody who
At the
gives
end
orders.
of the day, the presidents are Kenyan, so we get to be put in the same
Brackets.
brackets.
Yeah. Can we see Danny Hyson saying, look,
I look for the tweets and I will read them.
look at Russia the same way China does, a frenemy. Use Russia as a trading partner, information, and building the skill set of your population. In other words, Russia needs to be looked at as a means to an end, used to build up your infrastructure, military, and economic prowess. Don't forget, if it wasn't for Russia losing the Crimean First War, they would be just another brutal European imperial power. Sell your resources to Russia, take the money, put it in Russian banks, use that money to hire Russian contractors to build your infrastructure. Then send your mightiest warriors to get military training, particularly in artillery, infantry. This man came up with an entire plan.
Exactly.
Artillery, infantry, air force, navy, and special forces, such as Russian Sputniks. This man has examples. Jibba Jabba says, hi, Danny Harrison. Look, Danny, if we had more Dannies in Africa, we'd be free. You know, He says, remember, geopolitics is one giant chess game. So always strategize 10 moves ahead, more if needed. Speaking of chess, do you guys play chess in Africa? The fundamentals of that game could prove useful in building Africa. And Jiba Jaba says, chess is one skill I never learned. I realized it now it builds the brain. As we age, it is very beneficial. And Jiba Jaba, going back to work, says, take care, family.
Take care.
And I do agree with Danny because this is what I was asking. Why is Africa important to Russia? You know, if we use it to our advantage, it can actually be of help. You know, and this is why when you ask me, is it important to Africa? I said on both sides, it can actually help us. For example, we find that now Russia is actually, you know, the biggest suppliers of arms in Africa, right?
True.
Followed by, is it China? Yeah. So if we can take that to our advantage, there is a conversation where I had Katie and Keith having, and somebody, one of them suggested that why not, you know, use them to learn how to make our own stuff, so that we won't need them, you know, because the moment we are allowing ourselves to be, I feel like these people are actually using us in a certain way, you know. So if we use it to our advantage as Africans, of course you don't have to be true to either of them. You just be there for the moment and take advantage of it. And if
whenever it suits you.
Whenever it suits you, that is how I believe we can work this.
Man, who knew geopolitics would be taking lessons from prostitutes? Who knew?
To answer what Shimani and to back the compliment sentiments, I think she's correct. Danny is also correct, but it would be also a problem because who are we also trusting to take the lead with Russia? We're talking about puppets. We're not talking about Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali. We're not talking about commanders. We're talking about weak, installed puppets.
Joe,
they have no voice.
Is that you saying revolution?
Joby, we create our voice for ourselves.
No.
Why don't we, if we sit in the same table, can't we create a voice for
ourselves? That is revolution talk.
Is it?
Yes. Because basically what you're saying is this. Our duly elected presidents are basically, and I say duly elected presidents, are puppets.
Yeah.
So do we have to have free men?
Yeah.
Sit at the table with Russia.
Yeah.
And how do we get the free men?
People like Theodore, those are the people we want.
And I say,
Traore revolution.
Revolution.
Yeah, because who are we talking about here? These are
Mr. Christian Conference.
No.
Joby, I need something from you, right? And you need something from me.
Yeah.
If we have to negotiate, then we have to come to a point where, because I know you need something from me, right?
But Shmani, you have to understand something. We have never been equal to these people. We have never become trade partners. We have never become like equal partners in anything. They are always no, they are not looking for allies. They are
let me tell you something.
They are not actually looking for allies from Africa. They are looking for people to control Africa. They are not looking for allies with Africa.
But the thing is, it's called geopolitics. It's called geopolitics.
But I do agree with Katie to some extent.
Yeah. It is true. She's correct.
Nobody would sit down and say, I want to be friends with Kenya. Of course, I have some interest in there.
So
I want to be friends with Kenya because there's something I want.
Does that mean for Africa to be taken seriously, it has to
work? We don't need rush.
Okay, listen. Everybody needs somebody.
Nah.
This is what I'm saying. You need me, I need you.
No, but at the end of the day, you have to look at both points. We need them. We actually need them.
I wanna ask
they also need us.
Exactly.
But do we have equal interest?
The more I say, nobody wants to be friends with Kenya, and it's a very. Give me a minute. He's saying nobody wants to be friends with Kenya, And that is a very good
We
point,
actually
actually.
don't love
Okay.
the Kenyans
So-
ourselves.
Does it mean that for Africa, for people to want to work with us as partners, we have to be represented as a singular block as Africans?
Before I answer that one,
Mhm.
let me correct
Yes, we
Kate.
have to.
Katie said we need them. Oh, did you? Are you the one who said we need them?
Me?
No, we don't need.
Me,
I
I
mean,
didn't
a
say it's
relationship with them would be beneficial,
Mhm.
but not compulsory.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It would be beneficial being friends with Russia, but it's not compulsory.
Mhm.
I mean, they can come sit at the table, we hear their offer, and we send them back.
Yeah. And we say
That
no.
sucks. We are not taking that offer.
You know that's what they usually do to Africans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I want Russia's president. I want Putin and Biden come over to Kenya. I want them put in a bus on their way to stay.
Electric.
did it.
Nganya ya
So
Rongai.
we have a
Yes,
say
yeah.
at the table.
Nga-
Sikia,
Nganya
sikia,
runga.
weke kwa electric bus wapate vitu zao.
Yeah, so Shmani, what I'm saying is we
You
don't
guys
need,
are
we don't need
controversial.
them.
On
We
what?
don't need them. Have you ever? It's a situation where
They put us
you
in
see,
buses.
You see a girl and you're like, she's pretty, but see must.
I don't need
See
you.
must.
See must.
Yeah, it's no a must.
I mean, right
Mama
now,
mboga yuko.
right now we are not. Yeah, right now we don't have a good relationship with Russia. Are we not good? Are we not okay?
Copacetic.
We are doing well without them.
Yeah,
We can do well without them.
yeah.
I mean, let
We're actually better
let's not
without
you know in a deal there's always two people. There's always the one calling the shots and the one begging.
True.
We've
The
been
one
the ones begging
calling the
for
shots
so
and the one taking the shot.
yeah, the one taking the so we've been the ones begging for so long.
Taking the